What is up, studs, and welcome to Ask MandR episode 361. On this one, we're going to be discussing if summer 2025 is the most controversial wave of all time, the set that LEGO Star Wars has finally fixed, the future of battle pack prices, and much more. If you have a question or topic you want answered on next week's episode, please drop in the comment section below, hit the like button while you're there, and let's get into it with our first question from MP Brick Studio, who says, I think they'd be able to price you out with a microfighter for $1,000. Nope, couldn't price me out because I'd buy it just to show how insane a $1,000 microfighter would be. Jokes aside, there's always a number. I would be priced out at some point. I mean, would I actually buy a $1,000 microfighter? I mean, I bought this recently. You've probably never even seen this, hence why it was about the same price as what he's discussing. I would probably buy it, again, just to make the content on it. I mean, and the thing with like something like that is hopefully I'd still be able to sell it for $1,000 someday. Like this would still be worth whatever I paid for it. And so it's more of like a store of value than like evaporating the money away gambling, so it probably beats that. All of this is in English, and then the equals part, and then it's in Japanese all of a sudden, like Y-Wing, or whatever. I don't know what it says, a lot of letters, or symbols. I didn't pick that question to show this off, but I saw it and I thought it made sense to use as an example. I guess at that point, the equation very quickly becomes would I make $1,000 back on the video, not would I make $15 back on the video. Cobalt Commando says, if droids are so cheap to produce, then why don't they make a $30 battle pack with 20 droids? Well, that would be too cheap for you to be able to obtain them, and LEGO wants to maintain some sort of like bottom level of value for what they want to give you, right? So they would never give you that good of a value, first off. Second, though, they have kind of done this. Back in 2015, they had the $40 droid carrier that included 12 or 14 battle droids for $40. I mean, not going to be your $30 for 20 droids, but still not horrible compared to what you would get in a normal battle pack, perhaps. I would love to see another big battle droid set like that, though, that includes a bunch of battle droids for relatively cheap. Again, I don't think we'll get to the exact price that you're talking about, but, you know, they could do something better than they have been doing. Brick Reporter says, if you could keep just one 18+ LEGO sub-theme, which would you keep? Not counting UCS. Dioramas, helmets, MIDI scale, and buildable characters. Okay, first to go, buildable characters. Voted off the island, you're out. Love them. I think they're a fantastic subline, but if I'm keeping one, it's just not going to be them. I think the helmet sets also have to go. Part of the reason I say they have to go is because they don't include minifigs, but also like it's very redundant. Every helmet is going to inherently be the same size, and so if you have some sort of display with these things, it's all going to look very uniform. Even though each helmet is, of course, designed very differently, they are inherently going to be very similar because of the necessity to have that size be exactly the same every time. So that leaves us with MIDI scale and diorama. And if you know me, you know there's almost nothing I love more than MIDI scale. And I think I love MIDI scale more than dioramas, but if I'm keeping one, I'm keeping dioramas because dioramas, I think, give you the most flexibility with what you can do. You can have dioramas that are micro scale builds like the Death Star trench run where you don't include any figures and it's just this really cool micro scale version of a cool scene from Star Wars. And on the other side of things, you can have a build like the Emperor's Throne Room, which is minifig scale and includes minifigs and is this really great recreation of a scene from the end of Return of the Jedi. So the other 318+ sub-themes that you named there are very much on rails compared to dioramas, which I feel like just have the ability to be much more flexible with what they are and what they represent and what they include. Like the other ones, at most, you're getting one minifig with a buildable character. Dioramas can include tons of minifigs, potentially, sure, right? And of course, they can also include none if that's what the set calls for. And like, I feel like LEGO Star Wars has so much untapped potential still with dioramas because you look at Indiana Jones, they've done one diorama, and it's probably better than all the other Star Wars ones, certainly a better value at $150 for everything that you got in that Indy diorama. So I would love to see Star Wars do more of that, and I think dioramas are definitely the one I would keep of the 18+ sublines that you named there. Drab Kebab says, Wat Tambor buildable figure when? Well, actually, that would be a fire buildable figure, but the real reason I picked your question is to highlight the fact that LEGO missed the golden opportunity, perhaps the best opportunity we've had yet ever to include a Wat Tambor minifig in a set with that Clone Wars MTT. I've been thinking about it. I'm just like, I would have shuffled minifigs around so easily. I would have removed the commando droids from the MTT rather, and just have Wat Tambor in that set. I think that would be a fantastic trade-off. Get rid of those commando droids, throw in Wat Tambor, because one of the scenes we see him in the Clone Wars is very close in relation to that Clone Wars MTT, I believe in Season 1 of the Clone Wars. So having him in that set would have made a ton of sense, and they just didn't do it. You know, all to get a rehash of a commando droid that's now worse than the previous version that we got, or less accurate than the previous version that we got. Like, I don't know, just kind of sucks in my opinion. So Wat Tambor definitely could be a buildable figure. I highly doubt that. But certainly as a minifig, which I know a lot of people would want, I feel like we just missed the golden opportunity, and who knows when that'll happen again. It's like once in every 30 years, it's like the Blood Moon Eclipse or whatever, and that's what we just had with Wat Tambor. We had that one opportunity to get him, and we didn't get him. And, you know, Nice job, Lego Star Wars. Overdrone says, have you seen a wave as controversial as August of 2025? If so, is it controversial for the same or different reasons? Why should it be any different this time? So basically, the only few reasons that a wave can be controversial comes down to selection, quality, and price. And the selection for the summer, like if you just read these names on paper, is really good. They get an A+ for selection. The quality and price, no, no. And you kind of, the only thing that I think is super similar to this as far as controversy in the community, I mean, the gunship was a crazy thing, but that was just a singular set. If you look at like January of 2021, I think that wave was fairly controversial because it didn't have a lot of sets people wanted. It was TIE Fighter, X-Wing. I think it was another X-Wing with the 4+ X-Wing. And then we literally didn't even have a battle pack in that January or March wave. We had that redone Imperial Shuttle that was downsized. So January/March of 2021 was not a great time for Lego Star Wars fans either. But this is a different bad time, right? This is no longer like, oh, we're just not getting the sets we want. It's like, oh, we're getting the sets that we've wanted for 25 years, 20 years, 15 years, however long it's been for you, right? And they are just not what they should have been. They're missing some key aspects that they should have had or quality things that they should have had. And the prices are too dang high, you know? So just comparing the wave that came to mind in January of 2021, I think it's pretty clearly controversial for mostly different reasons. I mean, the downsizing aspect is still there, but some of the downsizes for January, March of 2021 weren't as bad as what we are seeing this summer. The clone tiny tank, just unacceptably small. Perhaps I've treated you too harshly. All of a sudden, this 2016 turbo tank don't look so bad. It's wild that perspective things can give you, right? I think an opposite great example would be the Jango Fett UCS Slave 1 that came out earlier this year. And when that came out, all of a sudden, the 2015 UCS Jango Fett Slave 1, which I long thought was one of the best Lego Star Wars sets of all time, all of a sudden did not look like one of the best Lego Star Wars sets of all time. It lost its luster to me. But this one has gained some excuse that. But this one has gained some aura points this summer, which was not what I expected to happen. I thought we were getting a UT-AT and life was going to be good. Instead, we got the worst turbo tank of all time coming out on August 1st. It's just kind of unbelievable to me. The set like allegedly falls apart if you grab it like this. We'll see. I guess when I get it in hand, I'll test it out for sure. Which, by the way, if you find any of the new Star Wars sets early, besides the V19 and Jango Slave 1, send me an email or a DM on Instagram. But yeah, this set feels and looks so much nicer than the new one, apparently. And that's a real shame. I thought we were really finally going to get an upgrade to this, and it seems like it's a downgrade in a lot of ways. Obviously, part of the other reason is going to be quality of minifigs. We're still getting clone troopers that are just grossly inaccurate and lazy, and the designer just... I'm tired of it. It just doesn't do a good job. Like, they're just not good. We've been at that point for 4 years now. We got something's got to give. On top of that, of course, the prices have gone astronomically high for a lot of these sets. I mean, you're looking at a turbo tank that 9 years ago was $110, and now it's going to be smaller for $50 more, so $160, and it's smaller than this. The MTT is another great example of something that's also now way smaller for way more money. Like, things keep getting smaller, they keep getting more expensive, even relative to their inflation. So I do think summer of 2025 will go down as the most controversial wave of all time, and it's unfortunate because on paper, it seemed like it was going to be a great summer, and it has not turned out that way at all. D-Zone Matt says, I think the commando droids are gunmetal gray because it was cheaper to reuse the same leg piece from the super battle droids instead of recoloring it. And I've seen this theory thrown out by a few people, and I disagree. So even if they didn't have to recolor the legs, they still have to recolor the torso, both arms, and the head to whatever color the commando droid is supposed to be. So the legs are just one of 5 pieces on the droid that would have to be recolored. I don't think they did it because they didn't have to recolor the legs. I think the reason probably is they were scared of them cracking like the old brown ones. That's the only logical reason I can see. The other rationale out there that it's actually gray in all of these pieces of media, it's not gray, it's brown. I don't know. It's brown. In any good lighting, it's brown. That's the answer. It's brown. The Black Series version is not gray. It's not gray in the Clone Wars. There are no gray ones in the Clone Wars. It's not gray in Battlefront. In any good lighting, it is obviously, clearly not gray. So I think the reason either is they were scared of their brown color cracking over time, which did happen with the previous ones, but is supposedly fixed nowadays. You know, it's supposed to have been fixed long ago, and it's not supposed to be an issue going forward. But let's theoretically say it still is. Then that makes some lick of sense. But I think the actual reason they're gunmetal gray is just because they decided it looked cool or whatever the reason there is. Like, I doubt it's actually some great, like, oh my God, yeah, they're actually gray here. No, I'm fairly certain it's just because. and that will always forever be the real answer to it. The Torpedo Boy says, kind of a deep question, but do you ever look at your collection and feel almost unfulfilled because you have it all and there's no chase anymore in a sense of like when you were a kid? Example, getting a set for your birthday, doing chores and saving up. I've been feeling this lately and losing my spark little by little, especially from the last topic about people leaving the community completely. Not taking shots at your success, want nothing but the best for you. Much love from Utah. Thank you very much. Yeah, no, this is absolutely an issue that I think collectors run into, at least certainly I have in my collecting journey with Lego Star Wars. I have gotten to the point where it is a little bit weird. Like, there's not a lot left that I want. Anything that I need to complete my collection of every set, which is not that much at this point, I don't know, maybe 50 sets, is a lot of like buildable characters or relatively cheap sets, like I'm talking $100, $200, like something that I could theoretically just go out and buy today and be done with, but I haven't really found the time to go and figure out exactly what I really need to finish that collection, but at some point I will, and then I'll be done. And on the other end of the spectrum, there are the things that I don't have that are very expensive, but aren't necessarily like a set that we would all know about and that I would make a review video of. Maybe it's like a weird item like this. I'm never really probably going to make a YouTube review video about this. Like, I'll just show it off and it's cool to me to have. But the thing about something like this is you can't just buy this. Like, I just happened to see someone selling it on Instagram and like DM them and was able to buy it. Otherwise, like, you Google this, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 pictures exist of it. I'm just guessing, right? It's not a very common item is the point. It's from Japan, I believe. There's a couple items out there currently that I really want to have. It's the 2005 VIP Gala box. It just is a box that goes outside of the 2005 Darth Vader transformation box. It's literally that simple. It's literally a box outside of a box. And then there's also the New York Yoda cube, because I have the big New York Yoda buildable character. I've got the New York Yoda minifig finally. I just completed that minifig collection. The cube is something that I've always wanted and would really love to have. And I remember in late 2022, I saw them on Bricklink for like $10,000. That was very expensive at the time, still is. $10,000, I probably still couldn't make myself do it. It's a lot of money for a little cube. But even worse now, on eBay, one got listed for $30,000. That's the only one available. So it's like take it or leave it, basically. It's, oh man, like that's a tough pill to swallow. That's basically getting to, it's like I'm never going to own that. It's never going to happen. Unless someone wants to trade for something like a gunk droid that I have 2 of that I'm willing to trade, I'm not dropping $30,000 on that. It's not happening. And then the guy dropped the price by like $2,000 or something. And I posted on my Instagram story and I said, all right, now we're talking 28,000, hit me up, or whatever it was. So I don't even know if it's that I feel unfulfilled. I feel very fulfilled. I've like accomplished or nearly accomplished a lifelong goal. And that's incredible, right? At a fairly young age, I'm only 28. So like, I'm very happy to have basically almost completed my Lego Star Wars collection as young as I have. However, the burden that comes with that is anything else that I want that's left out there becomes exponentially harder to find and exponentially more expensive. And that's if it's even available. You're definitely not wrong though. There's very little chase left to it, which definitely was part of the fun for a long time. But you know, that's suffering from success. What are you going to do? Like, am I supposed to be upset about that? I don't know. Try not to be, I guess. Sour Zinc says, will Lego changing the cockpit glass piece on the ARC 170 from tinted to clear affect the value of the old version at all? No. Is it really cool that Lego actually saw fan feedback and made a change? Yes. It's kind of cool, right? They don't do that a lot. So a couple weeks ago, my buddy Tex sent me an Instagram DM that he had found this ARC 170 with a clear windscreen piece, and I was like amazed by it. I'm still trying to track one down. If anyone finds one, let me know. I assume they'll show up in America in the next month or so. But basically, Lego took that trans dark purplish tinted windshield and just changed it out to be a very clear one, and it looks much cleaner on the ARC 170, arguably more accurate to Revenge of the Sith, which is obviously what the set is based on. So I think it works well all around. I don't know why they didn't use that color to begin with. Like, they supposedly go through all of these levels of testing and nobody noticed that the cockpit windscreen looked horrible with your terrible sticker design. Like, I don't know why it gets through so many levels of quality assurance. But here we are 7 months after the set's release, and they are changing it out. I think if you want to, you can contact LEGO customer support, and they will send you the 3 new parts of the clear windscreens and a new sticker sheet to accompany that. So if you want to do that, I would go ahead and do that. Save yourself the money. Don't buy a whole new set for it. Now, as nice of a little change as this is, and I applaud LEGO very much for making it, and of course updating the box with it, it again proves my point that LEGO can very easily fix some of their issues that they've had over the last few years with false advertising, such as the 501st Battle Pack and its antenna, the 212 Troopers and their horrible helmet print, and I'm sure many more that I'm not remembering off the top of my head. But it's been an issue with LEGO boxes for quite a while that they're false advertising plenty of things. I mean, Commander Fox's torso looks just plain white when it's clearly pink in real life. Like, they could update all of these things. They could update the boxes as a running change during production, clearly 7 months later, and yet they don't. Even if they make a press release about how they acknowledge that they messed up this thing on the box with the 5 vs Battle Pack, like, it equally is great and makes me upset that they will do this, but they won't do that, you know? And then there's other examples of like, well, why don't you go back and change this, that, or the other about this set, you know? So it's kind of this weird double-edged sword for them, right? It's like, well, you did a good thing, but what about all these other things you could have done too that you are clearly ignoring and just turning a blind eye to? Dills Will says, if battle packs have gone up so much in the last 5 years, how much could they be in another 5 years? It can't keep going like this, can it?
You can't keep getting away with it!
Well, if people keep buying them, technically it can, but I really don't think it won't. Theoretically, if prices go up as much as they have in the last 5 years, they have tripled in about 5 years, they would triple again to, what, $135? So $135 battle pack by 2031, that's my price projection. I think it's something like that if you extrapolate out from where battle packs were 5 or 6 years ago. It is actually that crazy right now. The 5 vs battle pack movement has done irreparable damage to LEGO's ability to screw over customers. Like, it's never going back. Realistically, though, I think we have reached a peak in battle pack price. Much like the housing market might have peaked 2 or 3 years ago or whatever, and it definitely, you know, flattened out and has started to come back down, I feel like, just from what I've looked at in some housing prices. You know, I recently bought a house, so I've been looking a little bit. It feels like it peaked. They're not shooting up anymore. And that's what I feel like has happened with battle pack prices. They've been shooting up. LEGO has found the top of their market. Turns out it was probably $10 ago, $15 ago, but they found the top of their market and it's going to come back down. And so, yeah, I think battle pack prices will start to come back down, or at the very least plateau. If I'm really making an educated guess, I do not think there would be a more expensive battle pack. I think we will only get cheaper battle packs going forward. I mean, they won't go cheaper than $20 or $23. Like, they're not going to go under that, but we also won't see anything up near the $45 price point going forward, I think, because I think this 327th is going to be a failure compared to the 501st. And ironically, I need to look this up, but please call me back, says MandR with the 5 vs battle pack reveal, quote, "It, I'll give you 50. Famous last words." And I'm pretty sure I actually said this. And here we are, basically $50 battle packs.
F it. I'll give you 50.
Well, there you have it. I did say that, and they may have taken it a little too literally.
You need to leave.
I also don't think they considered the fact that not everyone would give them 50. So that's absurd. 5 years later here, man, you can see how happy I was in that video. And then LEGO just took all of that goodwill and threw it out the window because they don't care about their fans. It's crazy. Oh my God. It makes me so angry to rewatch that video. It's so sad. It's so sad. What a great time that was, though. I felt so happy, man. Do not meet your heroes. Lesson learned. But yeah, at the time, I certainly felt pretty good about giving them 50. I certainly do not now. And especially, like, at the time, the quality of the clones was good. It seemed like they were giving you decent value for your money at 30 bucks. And now it's not like that at all. The price has gone way up. The quality has gone down. The builds have gotten smaller. Like, it's insane what they have done. So yeah, no, that's a really funny callback. I'm glad you remembered that because I did not. Lego Archer 87 says, would you encourage a Lego Star Wars boycott knowing that you will still buy sets for the channel and your collection? Would it be hypocritical? I don't know. What are your thoughts? Can't wait to see your vid on this. Yeah, I definitely will cover this topic in another video still, because my plan is to title the video, should you boycott Lego Star Wars Summer 2025 sets? Not should we, should I? Because I'm not going to. I'm going to buy them. I'm going to review them. I'm going to make content on them. I'm going to make videos on them. I could boycott them and not buy them if Lego sent them to me for free and early like everyone else, but I don't have that luxury, so I'm going to buy them. My singular purchase of one of every set is just such a nothing. You would never even know if I bought them or didn't buy them if you're Lego counting your beans or whatever you're doing. Whether I buy one or none is nothing. It's absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things. What I say about it could be something, right? And so that is what I hope to do, whether it's positive or negative with the reviews, right? You know, helping people make their purchasing decision, whether it's worth the money or not. I'm not going to sway it one way or another, depending on how people feel about it, you know, so we'll see how I feel about the sets when I actually get them in hand, having paid for them. But yeah, no, I would certainly potentially encourage that boycott. We'll see how I feel when I actually put together my full thoughts in a video, but I'm very much leaning towards that being a decent answer to the problem that we have at this point, which is something I never thought I would potentially encourage ever. Like, I can't, like, again, you go back 5 years ago, that 5 vs Battle Pack reveal video, Lego had me ready to get on one knee and propose to them, you know. Now we're in divorce court. So, but I mean, would it be hypocritical that I would buy the sets and then say that, you know, people should boycott them? I mean, if you want to call it that, sure, I guess, but I don't really care what people call it. And to me, it's like, I know that going into it. I know that before I say anything about it, that I'm going to buy them, or that I have already bought some of them, and that I don't think people should buy them. But that's no different than me making a review video and then telling people it's not worth the money or that you shouldn't buy it. Or it's not very different. Maybe it is a little bit different. Let's just say you go back to my review of this from summer 2016 and watch it now, because I'm about to release a new review of it, so the old one's going to go private. But let's say in that video I said it's not worth buying, right? Or in the next video that I'm making about, I say it's not worth buying, that you shouldn't buy it, don't spend your money on it. Well, it's hypocritical, right? Because I already bought it. I already spent my money on it. But the only reason I can find out that it's not worth spending the money on it isn't because I'm going to watch some LAN review. It's because I'm going to make my own content and experience it for myself, having experienced basically almost every other Lego Star Wars set at this point. So I just want the sets to be good. So, anyway, yeah, I would do that. And I don't know whether it's hypocritical or not. I guess that's up to people on the internet, but should a lot of things be up to people on the internet? Probably not. Michael says, should I buy the 2015 Imperial Shuttle or the TIE Fighter from the Han Solo movie or the Anakin's Jedi Interceptor from 2012? Bro just brought out 3 heaters and he's like, which one should I spend $300 on today? So, man, this is tough. I think I would knock out Anakin's Jedi Interceptor first. I love the set. I think it's fantastic, but I do think at some point they'll remake that. This is nearly an impossible question. My gut answer for you is 2015 Imperial Shuttle. I think that's the best playset version of the shuttle that we will ever get. Has some great minifigs. The TIE Fighter you can't go wrong with. Don't get me, that's a fantastic 10 out of 10 TIE Fighter. I think if I'm picking one to recommend, it's that 2015 Imperial Shuttle. Just a soft spot in my heart for that set, but you also couldn't go wrong with any of the others if you just want to pick one at random. Now, from Veiling Racer, he says, what camera do you use and where do you recommend to get it? I use a Sony a7 IV. It's a very, very expensive camera. I looked at your channel. I don't think you should spend money on a camera, at least not that much money. I think your money is much better spent on buying a software for thumbnails or paying for a thumbnail editor, spending some more money on your setup, getting some lighting. Like, you can spend money in other places for a channel like yours that I think is going to be much more beneficial to you than buying a nicer camera. Your camera looked fine. Your audio sounded fine, man. I would just really recommend spending money elsewhere if you were going to invest money in your channel. I don't think the camera is what you actually need. If you're uploading in 1080p, you really just need better lighting and a better setup, a cooler setup, and thumbnails. You really need thumbnails. Thumbnails honestly would do wonders for you compared to anything else, really. Don't spend money on a camera. Please, I really, really don't think you should spend a bunch of money on a camera. Buy other stuff that would make your setup look cooler, look nicer, better lighting, etc. And then put a lot of focus on making the video fun, good, entertaining. I know you did some Lego content. I saw some other content on there that's not Lego, so, I can't really give you as much advice there, but, but I hope that was some good, quick YouTuber advice for you. It's kind of crazy. Like, we go from talking about Legos all day, and she's like, here's some good YouTube advice for a random guy on the channel. I really think you're looking at the wrong thing there as far as a camera. I think you need to invest elsewhere. Now, Sebastian says, how good are you at basketball? Can we get a recording of one of your gym runs? It's probably been a long time since I've just set up a camera while playing pickup basketball and recorded any of it. Now, last summer I was in a men's league with some people that I met at the gym here, and I've got a couple highlights from one of the games, and my favorite shot is this one over this guy, because that dude jumped so high. I don't even know how I got that ball over his hand, because I don't jump that high. I had a barely quick enough release because, like, his finger was like this close to touching it. It was just crazy that I got it off. But yeah, I mean, I'm not that good. I probably couldn't play like college ball, but I enjoy playing pickup basketball. I play it once or twice a week. I now lift 3 times a week. I think I'll be getting better over the course of the next year, so maybe something to check in on. But I'll try to include some more footage on vlogs, on MandR Vlogs. So if you're not subscribed to MandR Vlogs, get subscribed there. But I think that's going to be it for this episode. I figured I'd end it off with some advice and a little basketball highlights. So if you guys enjoyed, hit the like button. If you have a question or topic for next week's episode, drop in the comments section below. And of course, if you find any of the summer 2025 Star Wars sets that, again, aren't the V19 or the Slave One, because I've already got those and around, send me a Instagram DM or email MandRprod34@gmail.com. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate you as always, and I'll see you in the next one.